a slight transition in our listening skills, and that's all it is. So I'm going to show you guys how I quote term. Now, there's a ton of other term companies out there, but again, I keep it super simple. I just quote with the people that I'm already writing, like American Amicable, which has an instant issued term. They're not going to have to do a medical exam. GTL, they are as competitive as can be in the marketplace. Honestly, I don't think there's many other term companies on a simplified issue term base that are beating GTL's price point. So I'm just going to go over real quick term with GTL and American Amicable. But does anybody have any questions about term that before I even jump into it? Or I might answer it here in a second. No, cool. Just want to make sure everybody's engaged. We're on the same page here. Like, our leads aren't like just turning into term leads. Like, we're still assuming their final expense, you know what I mean? But they could be a good term prospect. So I just want to show you guys the easiest way to navigate that conversation, right? So let me share my screen really quick. And here's the deal. Like, I still don't know a ton about underwriting. Like, I'd still leave it up to technology, right? Why not? So some people just they take pride in it. They're like, oh yeah, I know all the underwriting stuff. And I'm like, cool, I got FEX toolkits, you know, it take me 5 seconds. So that's just how my look is on it. But you know, you're in FEX toolkits. Maybe you guys haven't even seen this, but up here on the top right, it's going to default to final expense. If you do have a good term prospect on the line, which just means you're actively listening, right? We're going into a conversation. Hey, this is Noah in the final expense department. How can I help you today? I saw this commercial on term. Awesome. Okay. Do you know the difference between term and whole life? Like, start asking questions about why they want term, right? Like, do you even know what term is? Sometimes people say they want term and they actually want a whole life final expense insurance policy, right? So figure out how much they know about the product. Well, how much do you know about term? Have you ever had a term policy? If they say yes, that's going to tell you a lot, right? Because you can kind of get past some of the features and benefits of these term products and get more into the rapport building, right? And get into the quotes and the health questions and stuff. So if they've already had a term in the past, which 99% of the people that I've written a term product for, that is a new lead in final expense, has had a term policy before. They know exactly what they want. They know what they're looking for. I want 500,000, I want 100,000, whatever the case is. And 9 times out of 10, they're still going to be employed, right? And they might be retiring here shortly. So these are all like cues to ask, like, are you still working, right? Once you figure out, you know what, I can actually quote this person some kind of simplified issue term, you'll jump into your underwriting tool, FEX toolkits here. You're going to click term, right? So you can actually quote the carriers that you're contracted with and just use the same exact conversation, the same skills you guys are using to underwrite the applications. It's literally the same questions. The only questions that are different are going to be in the beginning of the call when you're actively listening to your clients, figuring out if term is even a viable solution to their problem, right? Sometimes, again, they think they want term, but they really don't. Now, the 2 products is where I want you guys to start, AMAM and GTL. And it's a strategic reason behind that. If you're new to life insurance in general, please just understand simplified issue term first. Then later on, once you guys get more familiar with that, you get a couple applications approved, you get more familiar with the nuances of term. And simplified issue is super simple. I mean, it's in the name, right? Simplified issue. There's no medical exams. It's the same as a final expense almost. Then we'll look into more, you know, in-depth underwriting. If somebody wants an annuity, just hit me up, or you know, if somebody wants like a fully underwritten, you know, $5 million policy and they're a CEO or something, those are one-off situations. Just send me a message and I'll take care of it for you guys. Like, we'll drop ticket it in life insurance processing or get somebody who's more seasoned to help out with that. But I also want you guys to see it too, just so you can learn. But I just want to be clear, like, we're really just going to focus on these 2 products, American Amicable and GTL, when we're quoting term, right? If you go into FEX toolkits, let's say the guy is 55 years old, right? 5'11", 160, non-smoker. Most people want like 150,000 in term coverage. You'll see a couple of options pop up here. Now, again, GTL is always going to be like the no-brainer in this situation. Their turbo term is just, it crushes everybody else in this space right now. They're preferred. They have to be in like A1 day 1 shape. Like, you have to be super healthy to qualify for it, but there's no other companies that are competitive as far as pricing is concerned with GTL. Okay. So you're always going to go GTL if you get someone young still working and they're not taking any medications. Just assume it's GTL. And just to give you guys an idea, I mean, like even their 500,000, if they're a healthy male, it's only $100 a month. I got final expense clients paying, you know, $250 for 30,000 in coverage, where they, you know, GTL is offering a 15-year term for 104 for 500 grand, $500,000. All right. Same situation. They'll just do an application on GTL's website and it's instant approval. It's instant decision. So they'll know day one if they got approved or not. Sometimes it can go back to underwriting, just like any other application that you do, even with final expense. Does that all make sense so far, guys? Cool. And I mean, if you guys have questions, feel free to come off and mute. American Amicable, they have a good return of premium plan. So let's look at American Amicable real quick. With them, you guys are going to get, you're going to see two options, right? You're going to see term made simple, and then you're going to see something called easy term. The one I would focus on when you guys get a little bit more experience, I don't know how experienced most of you guys are with term, but you can start talking about return of premium, which is what I have, because it's like a savings account. Every premium payment you pay into that policy, if you don't die within the time period here, like the 10 or 15, 20 years, you get all your money back that you pay into the policy. So that's what a return of premium is. And easy term is the only one that offers the easy term with American Amicable is the only one that offers, sorry, I'm blanking out here, the return of premium rider. Okay, now I'm going to show you what that looks like on American Amicable site. Let's take a look at American Amicable when you go into the application process really quick. You'll just log in as usual. You'll click new application. And then this is where you're going to choose the product. So if somebody wants a return of premium, who can come off of mute and tell me which product I would choose for a return of premium, or put it in the chat?
American Amicable, right? GTL doesn't offer that.
Which product though?
I don't know.
It's a term made simple.
Term made simple.
The other one, easy term.
Easy term.
Oh shit.
Easy term, yeah. It is confusing. I know. You'll see like both up there. You're like, which one do I choose? Like, what's the difference? You know, it's
Damn.
it still got me.
All right.
So easy term.
No
I'll show you that right here too. So easy term, if you want return of premium, which is just simple. Like it's like if you want your money back, right? Like at the end of the deal here, they have the easy 20 ROP rider right here, and then the easy 30 ROP. So if they know term and they're like, yeah, I want return of premium on mine, because it is a popular thing. So I'm not just like saying it to confuse anybody. It's very popular, like the return of premium plans, especially with the younger demographics that might be calling in. That's going to be easy term. So let's go back and like, what if we're in Alabama, or sorry, you're like, which one do I go with, right? And like, let's go term made simple. And so now you're in term made simple and you don't see the easy ROP. It's because you're not in the easy term, but it'll always be right here, that rider. So we're in term made simple. It's the same application. I mean, you're just going to have a little bit more underwriting questions about their work history and things of that nature. So let me see. I could probably just throw something in real quick. You guys can also add the accidental deaths. It all works the same way. Terminal illness riders, chronic illness riders, those are still included in these plans as well. Let's see. We'll just leave them blank for now. Just keep it simple. Okay. So 200K, $42. The max you can do on these with AMAM is 500,000, which is plenty. So like folks who are calling in who are like 50, 60, 64 years old, they're not going to want $1 million in coverage. I mean, of course, they probably, like, everybody wants $1 million, right? But they've probably gotten quotes in the past, and they know like $1 million is just too high. They know they don't really need $1 million in coverage, right? Like, they might have a mortgage or something like that, or they just want to leave for like medical bills or whatever the case is. So your most common quotes with term is going to be like between 100 and 500,000, and that's the max that you can apply for with American Amicable. GTL is where you'll get into like $1 million, 2 million, 3 million. And once you get that high, you're really talking to like, you know, C-level executives or people who own businesses and stuff like that. And they'll already be getting quotes as well. So, and we'll talk about those conversations too, because those are fun. Those are always the easiest term policies to write, because they just like, they go in, they know exactly what they want. If your quote beats them, they're going to do whatever it takes just to sign up with you today. So we're in the actual questions here. I'm sorry. Continue the application. So here's like just a quick look on, you know, what the application looks like. It's the same thing as any other American Amicable deal. So within the past 10 years, have you been treated for yada, 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 but notice how it goes back 10 years, right? High blood pressure, heart attacks, all that good stuff, strokes. What I want to show you guys is just some of the stuff you probably haven't seen, which is like scuba diving, motorized racing. These are like funny questions you guys can like build rapport with, but every term company asks the same questions because it is a risk to your life, you know, if you're doing these things. So the higher the money, the more liability they take, right? And they'll also ask about, you know, the work history and stuff like that. So if you want to play around with it, do like a test app for Term Made Simple, easy term. And then you can also go into GTLs. They're, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but they're the way that you log into GTL Turbo Term.
It's hot, I'm blowing up. I adopted a formula.